December, the president made it clear that income inequality was going to be a big priority.
The combined trends of increased inequality and decreasing mobility pose a fundamental threat to the American dream, our way of life, and what we stand for around the globe. I believe this is the defining challenge of our time.
Yes, the defining challenge of our time. Well, one of the two defining challenges of our time, the other being Candy Crush level 97. That is hard. I've got a lollipop hammer and I still can't. The point is that the president said the word inequality 26 times in that speech, which everyone took to mean one thing.
Income inequality is going to be the thrust, one of the major themes in 2016.
Members of the Senate Democratic leadership team, that's Harry Reid on down, are clearly going after this income inequality issue.
For Democrats, it's an all-out assault on the issue of income inequality.
An all-out assault. You better watch your ass, income inequality, because you're about to get violently ameliorated. Or you would have been if they hadn't almost immediately backed down.
A new article says President Obama appears to be shifting strategy on tackling income inequality. The Washington Post reveals Democrats are split on the issue, leading President Obama to shift talk away from the subject.
There is a key reason why no politician wants to talk about it, and that's because every time someone tries to, this happens.
Is President Obama engaged in class warfare?
Class warfare.
Class warfare.
The politics of class warfare.
Trying to drive a class warfare argument.
Use that hashtag class warfare.
OK, that all sounds silly, but the phrase class warfare is so toxic, the president actually had to stop talking about the thing he describes as a fundamental threat to the American dream. And this was so predictable that 3 years ago he actually gathered a group of historians and told them, what you could do for me is to help find a way to discuss the issue of inequality in our society without being accused of class warfare. To which they presumably said, yeah, we can't really help you with that, although we can tell you what Warren G. Harding named his penis. You would think in a democracy, policies that benefit very few people at the expense of very many would not be able to succeed, but they have. And I think the reason for that may lie somewhere in America's greatest quality, optimism. It's basically in how susceptible Americans are to this.
We have never been a nation of haves and have-nots. We are a nation of haves and soon-to-haves, of people who have made it and people who will make it.
Yes. I mean, no, hold on. That sounds great. The problem is it makes no sense. Economically, mathematically, or even grammatically. And yet we believe him. We believe him. And there's a poll that I think explains why. A few months ago, Pew Research revealed that 65% of Americans believe the wealth gap is increasing, and 60% believe our system unfairly favours the wealthy. But, and here's the key, 60% also believe that most people who work hard enough can make it. Or in other words, yeah, I can clearly see this game is rigged, which is what's going to make it so sweet when I win this thing! Woo! Of the billionaires on the Forbes 400, 71 inherited their fortune, and another 56 inherited at least a portion of it. That's nearly a third of the list. And our habit of handing money down from generation to generation perpetuates another disparity, perhaps explaining why, of the Forbes 400, only 0.25% are African-American. And to answer your question, yes, it's Oprah. Oprah is the person. You were right. Good guess. Good guess. America now has a system where wealth is essentially dispersed as a lottery of birth. And maybe the reason we seem to accept that is that even though we know the odds are stacked against us, we all think we're going to win the lottery.